What's going on there, Reject Nation? Greg, John, and Coy here. We're about to watch Miss Marvel, the first episode. And you love Miss Marvel.
Love Miss Marvel.
You've read like all the comics and
Every
stuff.
single issue. I think she's the modern day Silver Age Spider-Man. I think she has a lot of those parallels. We'll talk about that after the episode.
And she represents you culturally.
I mean, when I think about me, I think young Muslim American woman.
From New Jersey.
Very much those things.
Fortunate enough to get to watch this early. The background's a little different than it has been lately because I've moved. Look, we've traveled through the quantum realm. Isn't that fascinating?
It's very minimalist comparatively.
Guys, full-length watch-alongs are secret with the time code available for our super sexy rejects over at our Patreon page. Cover a bunch of shows over there, exclusively reaction highlights included at the same tier. Thank you guys who show your support. Also, if you can't join us on our Patreon, leave a like and your thoughts down below on the episode. Helps us out of the algorithm. Yay, YouTube algorithm, they're the best. And subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified when our next reaction for Miss Marvel is up. And while you're at it, if you got some downtime, go check out Coy's Comic Corner, which I'm hoping is a successful weekly segment or bi-weekly segment by this point of uploading this video. Them boys at where, John?
Ed Prepper. Thank you so much for editing down these highlights, for making us look good. And hey, if you guys need some editing help, hit them up, but just wait until they're done cutting our stuff.
Yeah, we come first, always. Narcissist!
The final chapter to my 10-part series on Earth's mightiest hero, Captain Marvel. Hulk snap. Alien ships invading, Thanos being a jerk about magical stones. Our heroes were done for. Until... Captain Marvel blasted in! Now who was this glorious... She punched Thanos right in the face.
You're finished.
I know, some of you think, well, she abandoned the people of Earth. But like, look, it's not true. Maybe we'll learn something new at AvengerCon this week.
AvengerCon?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Next week, I'm gonna kick off a special 2-part series on why I think Thor is secretly a gamer.
Game with Thor.
Yes.
You know you've played with
I
Thor.
relate with her.
Look at the editing she's doing.
I relate
on
with
YouTube.
Her. I relate with her.
Kamala, please don't forget to look at the mirrors every 15 seconds at least, huh?
Oh, Kamala, my Kamala, the road is a long and winding one, so never fully stop at stop signs.
Huh.
Just make sure that the instructor can see you move your head.
And remember to say Bismillah before you start the car. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
Don't even have a license.
It's very, very Edgar Wright.
Bismillah.
Bless you.
I don't think anyone saw.
My car.
Oh, come on. Are you trying to tell me she didn't look in the mirrors often enough for you and your clipboard? Choro ji.
Kamina Kahika, give me my keys. Okay, Kamala, come on, chalo.
At least they look out for her.
This is my fault. This is all my fault. These are my genetics. I mean, I
There's some fun little artist and writer Easter eggs on that.
Are you inviting me over to play Smash Bros? Because if so, I'm busy.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Thing is, I do hate the game.
Hate the big glove.
Sorry, Zoe.
It's fine.
I like your jacket.
Thanks. I like your necklace.
Thanks. It's actually my name in Arabic.
Kamala Khan, please come to my office ASAP. You've done something very wrong. I'm just kidding. It's crazy that the whole school can hear this right now.
They're telling me you're doodling all day, staring off into space in your little fantasy land. Hey! Oh, really? We truly started the meeting 30 seconds ago. You gotta be with me, girl. Mr. Wilson was my father. My name is Gabe. His name was also Gabe, so. Time to start really thinking about your future. I mean, college admissions are coming up. Before you know it, it's SATs, it's essays, it's applications.
Man, that normal shit is boring in the Marvel world.
It's interesting that you have to make it approachable, but it's also like we're watching a girl in high school.
I see a girl divided. Is she there? Is she there? Where's Kamala? And I know, fantasy's fun. Fantasy's really fun. But right now, I need you to pull yourself together and join reality.
That is a very,
Circle stop!
that's a very interestingly constructed shot just there.
It reminded me of Rules of Attraction, but in reverse.
This is the first one ever, right? And then future historians They're gonna start writing about this year of AvengerCon, and where does it start? Here. Okay? There's not gonna be another first AvengerCon ever again. Never.
I really like her performance a lot.
She's
very natural.
So natural.
And it's like every single thing I love, she seems to hate, and it's like she thinks I'm some kind of, I don't know, weirdo.
You are a weirdo. But more importantly,
Okay.
I've gotten weirdly good at airbrushing.
He flirts like you.
About comics? With skills? Like airbrushing?
It's not to like.
Works?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was a compliment.
Thank you.
Okay, I can't build you a horse, but
Oh,
otherwise...
you can build me slot baby wings. You know, that's very me.
Completely you. Wings, little tiara, Captain Princess Marvel.
No, Princess,
Wicked
I'm
Lamb.
sorry, but you know what's even better?
What?
Zombie Captain Marvel. I could be like,
This is so cool.
so have superpowers.
Okay, hey, let's never do that zombie impersonation again.
Wowie.
So it's like this.
Hi, Kamala.
Watching the movie that inspired the show.
I thought that was an old woman I didn't recognize.
That's Michael Cera. That old woman is Michael Cera.
Michael Cera could play an old
Joan
woman.
Allen.
The fourth Golden Girl, Michael Cera.
Amir, have you lost your ears?
This is so cool. Is this Nani's?
That is John.
Ooh, she knows what that is.
Yeah.
Was engagement broken?
Hey, what happened?
She decided that she wasn't ready for commitment, so now she's off gallivanting through Europe to discover herself.
Good for her. I mean, she wanted to travel the world and she went for it.
She's trouble, this one.
She's going to discover that she doesn't have a ring on her finger. That's what she's going to discover.
And that's what matters most, Kamala.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is a security camera, okay? So you can see who's home from your phone.
From my phone.
Oh yeah, from your phone.
We're living in the future.
Zuzu, turn off the lights.
Oi!
And I programmed it to understand Urdu. Urdu? Yeah. Zuzu, pati kolo.
Oh, boy, you are. This is magic.
Are you staying for dinner?
No, I got some work.
Okay, I'll pack you something to go.
No, I'm good.
No, of course I will.
Did you ask her about AvengerCon? Come on, ask her. Just ask her.
Bruno, there's a spicy one at the bottom for...
Do that so fast.
You stick to the gizmos, beta. This is my secret.
Superpower.
So there's this thing called AvengerCon, fan event celebrating our great heroes of our time, and Bruno's, he's like really into this stuff, you know, so he really wants to go, and
Wow.
Is this a joke? No. Is Bruno recording this for internet?
look, I promise I wouldn't do anything stupid. You do trust me, right?
No, I don't trust you.
How exactly will you be dressed? Huh?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, astaghfirullah.
Hey, salam, everyone.
Hero.
In a very tight suit.
Do what you want, Tommy, beta, please. And but me, no, because I can't do a single normal teenage thing in this house, right?
Come on, beta. You're not normal.
You know, all she does to me is say no. It's like, where is this out of proportion worry for you?
I'll talk to them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you look kind of
Thank
pathetic.
you.
I love how much there's a purple aesthetic to this show.
It's like one of the, like this and Moon Knight, I think, are the most uniquely formatted. Like, that felt like Justin Aaron. This feels like whoever directed it. It's so stylized.
Yeah, it's really nice visual language, great color palette.
And like this Circle Q and like all the visuals are right from the books.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Agreed, Coy.
Well, like Circle Q is kind of like the Daily Bugle. Like it's part of the DNA of the comic, so it's really cool to see them like focus on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Glad you're finally picking up on this, Coy.
Who did Carol Danvers pose for?
Where did they get that photo? Artist reenactment.
We have decided to let you go. Your Abbu will drive you there, and he will go inside with you for 2 hours. And as far as your dressing goes, I have a surprise for you.
War Machine. Oh, the Hulk. Oh my God.
See, Kamala, big Hulk and little Hulk, Bada Hulk or Choti Hulk.
No.
It's amazing.
There's no big Hulk, little Hulk. It's just not.
They're all heroes.
This is mine and Bruno's thing, okay?
Come on, Bachi.
Can't wear Shorkamies to AvengerCon, okay? And you can't come with me. Not just like that because it is so humiliating.
He's cosplaying.
He looks great.
If you don't go with your dad, you're not going at all. You're not going to dress up like all those other girls in skimpy outfits. That is not you.
So Kamala kills her mom in the comics, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Tragic backstory.
No power.
And then he hulks out. They're villains.
You're not going.
Damn it.
You lost your ally.
A lot of this strangely reminds me of my Filipino culture side.
Dressing up as Captain Marvel's weird.
No, it's not.
And it's childish, and I know that, okay? And let's be honest, it's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who saved the world.
Sure they do. You're Kamala Khan. You want to save the world, then you're going to save the world.
Are you imagining this?
With the right equipment.
God, you made these?
Yeah, I mean, do you like them?
Yes! Oh, Bruno Corelli Corporation. I like it. It has a nice ring to it. How do they turn on?
Right here. Bow.
She just seems like such a real girl.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep getting lost in like she seems so real.
I did not.
Time to go full carry.
Please, switch the TV. Boy, or Kamala, please tell Bruno that Zuzu is possessed by the evil jinn. All Vilakwa, Zuzu, television, switch it on.
If I can't leave the house to go to AvengerCon, I'll go to AvengerCon without leaving the house. This is the plan.
Kamala, you're the best sister ever. Honestly, you should have been an only child.
5:55, I suit up in the greatest Captain Marvel costume the Earth has ever seen, and then I make my way out of the house undetected but extremely impressive. Where you will be waiting in your costume, which better be awesome.
But what if your parents go into your room?
So, when there's a knock on the door, don't come in, I'm changing! Finally, you being a genius is coming in handy.
What do you mean, finally?
Catch the bus to Camp Lehigh, and it might be a tight window, but we're gonna do it with style.
Wait, is that us biking off a bridge onto a bus?
Then, it's time for a tight but spontaneous 60 minutes of fun at AvengerCon. Cosplay competition. I win, obviously. Collect my crown. I'm assuming it's made of real diamonds. I'll sneak back into my room just before my dad comes in at 9:22 p.m. That's the plan.
So your plan is take the bus.
You know, she teams up with Captain Marvel in the future is gonna be pretty sweet.
So worried about the plight of the planet.
Speaking of parrots, you just reminded me I have a biology report that's due tomorrow.
Okay.
So I...
But beta, you gotta listen to me. What I have to tell you about parrots.
Nope.
You're doing good, Kamala. Oh my God. Ow.
Oh, that was my way back in.
I know, we missed the bus. We can still make the next one, but if we miss it, it's game over.
Of course. No.
Come on, man, open the door! Dude!
She's got the Infinity Stones on the spokes.
I wish we did conventions out here that celebrated superheroes.
Like San Diego would be a good spot.
Or Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills Con is go.
The song in the first cat was great.
Things
Oh my
Hulk
God.
smashed.
Somewhere near rock stars' heads are exploding right now.
Just having a time.
Pause everything.
Is that an early She-Hulk or a Black Widow? I couldn't tell.
I think it was Gamora.
That was definitely Gamora.
Just not those two.
You're welcome, America.
Wow. It's becoming the boys. Monetizing our superheroes.
Hey, Drax costumes.
Cool. Asgard Pride.
For Valkyrie, that's good.
Motion detected.
Amir's out for the evening.
Wow.
Kamala said
Coming up next, the Captain Marvel cosplay contest.
Showtime.
First place.
No. Destroy her!
Why is she here?
The costume's not even accurate.
She doesn't even like the Avengers.
I know, it's okay. It's okay, okay?
I think that's a great costume.
You have the gloves?
Yeah, they're in my bag.
Let's straighten that out.
Come on, it's a contest.
Last call for the Captain Marvel cosplay competition. Cosplayers, please line up on the side of the stage.
No! No!
Give it up, amazing Captain America cosplayers. Thank you, Captain America cosplayers.
Things Hulk smashed.
The details in the background are fantastic.
I can't get it on. It's still shut for some reason.
Where are the gloves?
Oh, they're just... Crap, I left it in the bathroom.
This is our final call.
But he made the gloves.
Dude.
Fine. You got the bangle. Put it on.
Just jam it on.
Show them the love. There you go. The Captain Marvel cosplayers. Even this guy.
My brightest day. Darkest night.
Pakistani Bengals might. Whoa! Whoa!
Wow. Whew, I got chills. Oh, damn, she just goes like full center stage. Oh my God, Kamala, what have you done?
She's gonna kill everyone.
Whoa, no! No!
Not shooting things.
She's gotta win. She's gotta
I
win.
mean, she's gotta win now.
Yep. Oh
Big hand and biggin.
no! Oh! That's not that big a deal.
Just sprinklers. Oh, people are dying.
Oh no.
Oh my god, are you available to book for parties? Do you want to take a picture? I'll tag you. I follow that, mostly.
Oh my God!
They just killed Zoe. There's the hand.
There it is. Cool. Wait, are you available for parties or not?
What just happened? What just happened? I don't even know what to say.
I can't believe it, Bruno. I actually have powers.
Now punch your
Hawk
mouth.
is amazing.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go.
Oh, gosh.
They're not good at sneaking.
Oh, wow.
Did that come out of your foot? Are you okay? Hey, keep me updated and text me everything.
So weird.
Whoa.
Don't stop, okay? I'd never tell anyone.
Never ever.
Never, ever, ever.
Really, really.
There's some great camera work in this show.
Shit.
Whoa.
Kamala,
Yep.
who is this rebellious girl sneaking out? Sorry. Do you want to be good or do you want to be some, this cosmic head in the clouds person?
Both.
You think about that.
I remember giving the same speech to Coy.
Yeah, I didn't take it well.
Yeah.
I stopped sneaking out for Avengers Cons, though. Most of the art in the background is comic authentic, and there's a Terry Dodson piece they keep using that's great.
That's exactly what we talked about.
Good job remembering those details, Coy.
Cosmic.
She's made a choice.
Oh, that's right. The guys who did Bad Boys 3, right?
Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
Trust the bro. Side of Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's the original cover.
That's a normal Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, New York.
Not the Cap Statue of Liberty.
Oh, that's true. Well, it fell. guess
Yeah, I
they
noticed
rebuilt
things.
it regular.
Wayne Street.
That's a
Oh, hey.
Batman's family.
Dude, comic books are all connected. Papa Hulk.
Check this out.
Hey!
AvengerCon. A cosplayer with too much time on their hands.
Not this one. I've never seen powers like that.
Yeah, bring her in.
Oh, Kamala's Law's coming. Kamala's Law's coming. She's gonna need a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Daredevil's gonna be in all the shows.
He's gonna be catching
very
bricks
good
everywhere
lawyer.
he goes.
Catching bricks through many windows.
Whoa.
Originally, they're snow globes, but they return them into bricks in post. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, because of the shape of his hand and all that stuff.
Can you believe white people wrote and directed that?
Whoa. What, really?
Yeah.
I thought the brothers that directed. I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
they were pure white.
Didn't you catch their names? Samuel and William.
I don't judge by names.
Whiteman.
My name's Coy.
Yeah.
Coy Whiteman.
Coy Whiteman. We are all white men except for you. That was very charming.
That was. I'm really impressed. I will say it's
We're
interesting.
not reviewing it yet.
Credits.
We gotta fade a little white beard to let the audience know this that's divided.
Watching the credits.
Section's different.
Here we
John,
go.
wipe it.
White.
Hey, look, we got fancy dancy mics. We're not gonna talk for too long, though. That's what I always say.
Yeah,
in hopes
that's
that
weird.
we won't talk for too long.
He's always
and then
wrong.
we talk for too long. Isn't that right, Coy? Anyway, I was really charmed by this a lot. I think it goes without saying that the visual style, I mean, it's obviously it's kind of felt like a splice of, what was that Haley Steinfeld movie?
Edge of 17.
True Grit. Edge of 17. And Scott Pilgrim versus the World. A little bit of both, but I also did like how committed they were to the cultural influence. What is their exact background? Pakistani?
She's Pakistani, but she's the
Pakistani.
first Muslim superhero like to headline up a comic ever, or like
Yeah.
one of the big two.
Like, I'm not Pakistan. Some people think I'm Pakistani or Indian or Mexican or I'm all kinds of
Anything but Irish.
Anything but Irish is what I get. Growing up Filipino in California, you're surrounded by a lot of like cultural clashes of wanting to express yourselves and, you know, and go do your own thing, have your own freedom. But then you could feel like kind of the oppressive, very disciplined, you have to live by the parents' rules, because, you know, it's a lot. I'm like a lot of us out here are like first generation, you know, with the Kamala Khan situation. So I really identified with that aspect. There are other qualities I'm sure that you probably identify with. And Coy's just the biggest fan of us all.
It's a great comic.
It's a great
One
comic.
of my favorite new characters.
Of course, the superhero fantasy side of being obsessed, I'm sure you can identify with. So I think there's quality, because before watching this, sometimes you're like, it's only just for kids, just for little kids. And I don't know, I thought this was actually really charming. I didn't find it hilarious, and I wasn't like swept up in wonder, yet I was very, very charmed throughout, and there's a lot I really appreciate. I think it's so composed. Every shot seemed like it was so purposeful. Like it seemed like there was a real shot list to the way this was executed, that it did have me curious. Like, what was the prep like beforehand? Because they must have had to storyboard this out like crazy. Whereas the other ones, I'm sure you have a shot list, but maybe not as storyboarded. But this felt like it had to be, just with the amount of integration they had. But and the other main thing too is this Iman Vellani actress. Holy shit.
She's going to be able to keep up with everybody. She was fantastic.
She is so good. It feels like I'm watching like a real kid. One of those real nerdy kids out here, you know? You know, Marvel can pull off visuals, they can pull off aesthetic, they can pull off a fun tone and whatever, but to capture the essence of this character was... The most impressed I was with her performance. I couldn't. Everyone's good. Everyone's so natural, but her especially was like, you seem so real. I kept getting. That's the thing that I was getting swept up in the most, was how real she seemed. Now it's time to see like the real dramatic half scenes. Can she cry on camera? That's the mark of a good actor.
It's all it really takes. Crying.
Coy, I know you're gonna like hog the mic, so why don't you just hold on for a second? John, get in there. What did you identify with? What did you think? Point out something different that I didn't point out. Go for it, John.
I really loved this first taste of the show, partly because it felt like some of the shows feel more like you're watching an episode of something or like a show, and this felt like I just watched a piece of a movie. It was really, really gracefully composed, and they have a lot of setup to do, and you're in a familiar world, but I thought that they really, really did a nice job of establishing a tangible and a cultural tone that feels very alive. Like Iman Vellani anchors everything with just that incredibly natural charisma, but even beyond that, just the way in which they realize New Jersey and the convention and just the time and place of everything felt like a great convergence of some indie movie with the Marvel Cinematic Universe flavors. And I loved the way they composed everything from the visuals to the music, but really just that, you know, that look and that aura. Like, it's got great color and it's got really beautiful, striking, again, composed shots that really feel, like you said, intentional. I feel like, especially now, we're at a point where people are sort of expecting Marvel to upgrade and be more expressive with their visual palette and their emotional palette, and I think that this speaks to that, whereas certain other things have maybe, you know, struggled. I felt like this was really colorful and really beautiful, and it uses that Scott Pilgrim style animated, you know, heightened world to great effect without making me sit here and go, "You Scott Pilgrim," you know. So yeah, I really love it. And hey, you know, yeah, white guy, blah blah blah, whatever. But I totally related to Kamala Khan and just the situation she's in. Even though it's not my exact experience, I really felt for her experience, and I did feel for, you know, the aspects of that are universal, while also appreciating the aspects that are very specific to the Pakistani culture and everything else that comes with that. And I just can't wait to see the whole thing expand.
All right, Coy. Now, what we're missing here, though, is this isn't big enough, you know? How does this tie into the multiverse in Avengers Secret Wars? Talk only about that, Coy.
Kang and Galactus and Doctor Doom. How are they all foreshadowed?
Well, this card time to Guardians 3.
How do so many people know all the Guardians that well on Earth to have that much merch about
The
them?
thing about comic books is that you can have a contained story that feels big and a big story that feels small.
Screw that, Coy! You're not talking about the things I want to hear.
Bigger,
The thing
Coy.
I love
Bigger
about
is bigger.
Kamala is that she's cosmic, but arguably arguably one of the most contained to herself characters in the MCU. Well, now she's in the Marvel Universe. The reason I love Spider-Man is because you always feel like he's a guy that's just trying to get by. Spider-Man is always late for work. He's always trying to make sure he can undo a messed up date with MJ. He's always trying to make sure that he does the right thing when he feels like he's the wrong guy, and he always uses comedy as a defense mechanism. Spider-Man was invented in the 60s. Spider-Man has been around for a very long time. It has gotten to the point where it's very hard to retell some of his stories, and there are long periods of time where Spider-Man comics are not great because he's been around for so long. What I loved is that when we got Kamala Khan in I think she was in an issue or two of Captain Marvel in 2013. Her title started in 2014. So we've had her for 8 years. What I love...
I don't know.
Google it.
I think you're way off, but I'm
clearly the 70s.
I'm not going to embarrass you on
So
camera.
what I love is that when we got this character, it reminded me of what it was first like to discover Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's someone who is in high school dealing with day-to-day problems in extraordinary ways. It's someone, like, everyone has a high school experience, so we can identify with that experience even as, older dudes, but we also can learn from this character. And I love the weird, awkward moments of high school conversation, juxtaposing the moments of pure cosmic power. I love that as a dude, especially a white dude from Boston, I have very little exposure to Pakistani tradition or to Pakistani food or Muslim culture. And I think that you can make any comic book educational in a fun way to either treat you about relationships, morality, your worldview, or specifically cultures. And what I got out of Ms. Marvel, and the reason I think the show is doing such a good job, is it makes you go, hey, I get 7/10 of these things. I would like to learn more about the 3/10 I don't, without it feeling like you're an other. You're not othering a thing. You're not an outsider. You go, oh, this all makes sense. Please teach me this. And I think as Americans, that's something we other very quickly. And I think it's really problematic how much we like to go, hey, what if we do this thing that feels normal all the time and don't let things progress or learn? And this character, it kind of makes you learn. And I really love that the show is giving us a lot of things that feel familiar while planting seeds to have us grow with the character. And that's what I got out of the comic book. So I love that she has a small town like Spider-Man that also has a big town like Jersey City. I love that she has the Circle Q like Peter has the Daily Bugle. I love that her family feels like Peter's MJ, Harry, Gwen. I love that her family has the moral compass of an Uncle Ben and Aunt May, but she has this net of comfort while also having the struggle of being a teenager, while also being someone that doesn't look like everyone else, that's just like everyone else. And that I think is going to be so important for kids nationwide and internationally to feel seen for the first time, while also informing dumb white dudes that, like, people are people. So I think the show is doing all the things I loved about the comics, and it's doing it in a stylized way that makes it unique. And I love that.
What I'm really
Where's
hoping,
Thanos?
Yeah, like where's Thanos?
When are we gonna get off of Earth? At least go to quantum realm.
Not Rambo gonna show up in this?
Also,
what's going
G.
on?
Willow Wilson is the writer who brought her solo title. Like, so she'd been introduced, but the first solo book, which they used a cover of in there, I love the Mr. Wilson nod there, and I really love that they planted some of that arc from that first run. And again, Terry Dodson, one of my favorite artists, is the background piece in her room. That made me happy.
What I'm waiting for, I'm really happy for you, Coy.
Thank
I'm
you. I
sure
appreciate
every
that.
Marvel reader
Everyone
happy
listening
about it
right
too.
now is like, I'm still listening.
Congratulations, Coy.
It's for me.
You won.
Clearly, this show is for me. That's right.
What I am hoping for, and I think the show will eventually go down that route, is this episode captured, and I imagine the rest of the series will be, Kamala Khan's perspective. And so with capturing her at this specific point in her journey, she's feeling that a bit of, like, feeling oppressed, and a lot of it is cultural clashes. I feel like they're planting seeds where it feels like a true celebration of Pakistani culture as well, because I could see that there could be a different argument to be made with some of the semi-generic setup, because I don't feel like the execution feels generic. I think there's a lot of great nuance to it.
That's what I'm saying, the 70-30. I guess I will feel at the end of the show. I think you have to start 90-10.
Yeah, no.
And then you grow it, you know what I mean?
Start at the part where she feels like the oppressed side and can't be herself and is having a clash with her culture and family and with all that jazz. And then by the time you get there, because like I liked I don't know how it is in the comics, and I'm curious to hear what you think, because I know they changed the power set here. To have the band be part of her family legacy that gives her the powers, like everything she wanted, is coming through something that is generational. And I think that in and of itself is honoring a part, even though it's sci-fi and shit, it's honoring a part of the Pakistani culture. I imagine it'll eventually lead down that road. So I'm excited to see how it goes there, where it embraces it all, and I'm imagining that it'll go down a path where her parents I don't know if her parents will find out her true identity. I don't know the path it's headed down. Now I know the feeling.
I feel like her mom has some knowledge there.
Yeah, no, they alluded to that she's like, don't touch those bands, you know?
And as much as we love her so far, like Abu is nailing it. Like he's so the character in the comics. Like we love the brother as limited screen time and does a lot. But I will say my only negative is too early to really quantify. I love that she's an Inhuman, and I love that some of the body dysmorphia that comes with being a teenager is kind of represented in
the
powers.
Terrigen Mist is not
The Terrigen Mists, I assume, are not here. But when you talk about the generational influence, I would have had the Inhuman element be part of maybe her ancestry, and maybe she is an Inhuman that this activates the gene instead of the Terrigen Mist. I don't think they're touching the Inhumans. I don't think they're going to mess with it. I thought maybe after Doctor Strange, spoilers for Doctor Strange, you've seen it 2 months ago, and Black Bolt. I thought maybe they were going to slowly reintroduce the Inhumans by way of that little taste, that touch of that. It would be unlikely now that we've seen how the power manifests, and it does kind of remind me more of some of the more cosmic characters. There are quantum bands, there are certain bands from the 70s that, not music bands, that tie into
you
power
guys chart in the 60s?
You guys chart in the 60s? Clearly a rip. But so I'm curious if those things are generational, if those things are cultural, or if there's going to be anything that makes her unique on top of the band, that the band has to coincide with blankety blank. Because I do think it's really important that the Terrigen Mist activates something in her, and then again the body dysmorphia, her being an insecure teenager, and then her having crazy physical almost Cronenbergian scary attributes. You don't get that as much with Shiny Object. You don't get that as much with Sparkle Cosmic. So I think there needs to be some of that somehow, but it hasn't bothered me enough that it's an overall negative. I know people are going to be uproarious, but for me, it is my negative, but I'm not closing my mind to it. I'm optimistic that the reason they did it is to be seen, and the cost of trying to make stretchy hands look good is prohibitive.
That's why John Krasinski had 45 minutes of screen time.
Clearly off camera for a lot of it.
John, I'm curious, as someone who's not said devotee of comics, how do you feel about the power set here without having this pre-existing love and meaning, but now just introduced fresh thoughts?
My thoughts. I have a thought.
This review is second to none.
I'm guiding.
Yeah. I mean, much like Coy, I'm curious about the power set, and it's an idea. It's a shift in idea, and so now I'm sitting here going, okay, it's up to them to make something interesting out of that. I think they can. I mean, I wasn't expecting her just to have a full-on power blast at the in a very public setting in this episode. So if anything moved maybe a tad quick because of the change, to me it felt like that. I mean, I'm finishing up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's prime. This is my moment to sit here and go, canonize that, you cowards, so that you can use Terrigen, because that's such a huge part of that show. I can imagine that maybe, especially if we do get more cross cosmic universal multiversal shenanigans factoring in here, that maybe that will tie into why her power is the way it is. But my hope is that it's got something to do with the origin of that bangle, and that maybe there is something akin to the ancestral plane or something like that maybe could explain it, or something that again ties back into culture. Because one other thing that struck me about this is I was reminded of Shang-Chi in the early moments where they're at home and you're seeing home life and you're just seeing that side of the culture. And then obviously the MacGuffin is also tied into that in some way, but in Shang-Chi obviously you leave home and you don't really come back, and you're mostly doing cosmic crazy stuff. So I feel like here you've got an opportunity to maintain the home life across it, but also tie that into the origin of the bangle, whatever her mom might know, and maybe make something meaningful and character driven for that. So while I am bummed to lose that metaphor of this is a physical change happening to my body that also factors into just how I feel about myself, I could see them making it something meaningful, and I hope that's what they do, rather than just being it's a cool cosmic MacGuffin. The end.
Can I have one last thought? Is that okay?
You are on the thinnest of ice.
Let me
test. Shall I run it by you?
You know what, Coy? Yeah, you can have your
Okay,
thought.
thank you for permission. I appreciate it. One thing I'm interested in is in the comic, she's one of the champions, which is a modern reinterpretation of a more street level team, and it's really politically charged right now in the comic books. The Champions comic is more about global warming and people's rights and refugees. It's a lot more topical than maybe the Avengers, because currently the Avengers are living in a Celestial's head and they're fighting vampires, so it's not exactly linear. So what I think the Champions do is they allow us as readers to have a team that feels like it's fighting for what we might experience in real life while the Avengers do their cosmic stuff. But what's interesting is Kamala is always going to feel street level. She represents Jersey City. She represents all those things. What's interesting in the comics now is they've already had the Civil War thing happen like a decade ago in the comics. We had the Civil War happen about a decade ago in the movies now. What happens legally in the comic books is when the Civil War, which is called the Sokovia Accords in the movies, when that doesn't pass, when the Sokovia Accords fail in the comic books, years later, those same lawyers and the same like bad guys try to pass it by way of having people under 18 not have the rights to be superheroes. Basically, they make it like child labor laws, effectively. And they call it Kamala's Law because Kamala gets really, really injured and she's in a coma, so she doesn't have the ability to fight for herself. So people are using her name against her very friends. People are using her name to persecute people she cares about. The fact that the cop that was trying to get Spider-Man to mess up is now in this, and the fact that we're getting a lawyer show right after this, and the fact that Daredevil is supposedly in everything for a while, I do think that we're going to see some interesting follow-ups to Civil War and legal ramifications in this show that set up certain things in the future, like the Young Avengers, which I think is going to be this universe's Champions parallel. Maybe. Read comics.
I don't think any of that was necessary.
Why am I even here?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Coy.
Greg's gonna cut it.
Save for another time. My God, Coy. This is in love with the.
Did you do your homework,
voice,
Coy?
I want this trending. I want this video
You're the
trending.
kid who shows up in class and you're like, aren't we supposed to turn in the assignment? I'm really proud of the assignment.
You said we were going to have a quiz this week. It's Friday. Where's the quiz?
Where's the quiz?
I thought we have a quiz. It's because he's trying to get me to fight Eric Voss every premiere.
If I have one genuine criticism about this show, is where's the mob? We're in Jersey. No, where's
Hawkeye took him out.
Yeah, what the hell?
Where's DJ Pauly D?
Tracksuit Bros got taken out.
I hope there's actual consequences for when she does crazy shit. I mean, they did set up the thing with the cops. Still felt like a quirky setup.
I think it's going to be I think that's going to be consequences. I think that's going to be the undercurrent.
It needs to feel truly consequential, because even the stakes in the moment was just like, oh my God, all these people in danger, but no one really feels like they're in
Popular
danger.
Girl got smacked up. Like, she rolled Mjolnir through to her face.
Still just like, yeah, it's fine.
No, but I'm saying, like, that might have killed her.
I could
real life.
foresee that becoming a thing where it's like, man, this footage is circulating, and she attacked the thing. But I feel like Popular Girl is going to come back and be like, no, she saved my life, and then that'll be a thing.
Yeah, it's not a heavy criticism. It's just more of a curiosity.
I'd like to be a commentary on the police state and like the overwatch of cameras and how we have Big Brother that we implement ourselves through social media. That's what I want to see.
And Miss Marvel.
Whimsical, fun, teen street level fantasy.
I'd like to talk about the fact that ring lights account for more surveillance than George Orwell ever predicted.
I want to.
Thus, we're living in an age of pure paranoia.
Story about cell phone addiction and pornography addiction in Miss Marvel.
I don't.
That's what I. Think.
Let's just do shame, but in the Marvel cinematic
Michael
universe.
Fassbender comes back as Magneto.
Our teenagers are in high school, probably watching just graphic imagery on their phones, being consumed and being falsely diagnosed with ADHD. That's what I want to see in Miss Marvel, guys.
Yes, take on the pharmaceutical industrial complex.
Yeah, over-prescribing things.
That's right, man.
We're going to go there.
They don't want us. That's why they stamp down supplements and vitamins. They don't want us to prevent disease. They just want to keep us on the hook.
And then when they arrest Kamala Khan, we deal with political policing issues of the industrial complex that is churning out profits in the prison system.
Yeah, see, there's a lot you can do with
I think that's
Miss
episode
Marvel,
2.
and I feel like they are only scratching the surface right now, guys.
Just getting started, Greg. We're just getting started.
Hey, kids, there's a lot to learn. See, we could have ended this, and now look what's happening.
Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and comment.
Camera's currently out of commission. We got to get this damn video up. But I wanted to shout out Michael B today. Michael B should have a reaction up as well for this Miss Marvel thing. And this guy's been doing such a good job lately. He deserves to be proper shouted out because he's so good at what he does. So if you thought 2 white guys reacting to Miss Marvel wasn't enough, get a third whitey in there before you hop to Blind Wave to get 4 more people in there.
All the crackers.
Go to Omni Media first. Michael B is what we like to call him around here.
Baby best.
And he's become a really great friend of mine as well. I'm really happy to know you, bud. Sometimes you text me too much, and then I get all upset when you stop texting me. And I'm like, what the hell? I just like to be wanted. So, dude, We got to keep this toxic relationship going. It's what's making us thrive. And before you get all in your head, no, I don't actually think you text me too much. But sometimes you text a little too much. Again, I'm only joking. You don't text me that much. That is a sarcastic comment. But seriously, you gotta get your shit together. Do you not have any other friends?
Text
I'm
me.
Kidding. I'm not kidding. But I am.